social media marketing, Instagram and TikTok algorithm hack. I think y'all are gonna love this one today. I'm excited that you're here, and I will be sharing with you some insights that you can use today for your business that will help your business gain maximum visibility and also use it in a way that's going to also help your business grow. If you're thinking about a way to understand the algorithm, understand how things work, this is going to be the room for you. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm also going to put the link in the chat. Welcome, Sadrina. So I put the link in the chat. There we go. So I put the link in the chat, and that's going to take you to my Zoom. So as you come in, please make sure that your mics are off here because I want to share this with you. What's happening right now is what you're looking at and what you're going to start experiencing in this room is something that can help your business grow and also gain more visibility as a business. And if you want to have access to this, you're going to see the link at the top, and that's going to take you to where you can access the replays. So I'm going to be sharing some things with you today that will really give you some insights. So if you want to see what's happening on this side, click the link in the chat, and that's going to take you to the Zoom room. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm excited I'm doing this with y'all today. Good evening. I hope you guys are well, and I hope you're excited to be here with me like I am with you. Social media marketing, Instagram and TikTok algorithm hack. So it's when somebody hears algorithm, they hear, okay, what's new? What's the latest? I said today I'm going to give you some stats because I don't always talk about social media marketing, but I've always been around social media, and we all are. But I don't really go deeper into it as I should. So I felt like today would be a good time to do it in a much more detailed way. So if you have a business, this would be something for you to do. And as you're here, welcome Chelsea, welcome Danielle. As you're here, welcome Steph. If you have a business and you have an Instagram account specifically, and you use Instagram for business, put in the chat what you'd be looking for on Instagram or what you'd want to rank on Instagram for when it comes to content. So welcome. Hello, Steph. Hey, Bougie. Thank you for being here, and Claudia too. So in the chat, put in 1 or 2 words or 3 words that match what you would talk about on Instagram. What would be the thing that if someone types on Instagram, you want to be known for? Because that's something I want us to look at. Because if you're looking at my screen, you will see that there is a platform that I want you to be able to look through and actually see for yourself if this is something that you want to try on your own. Now, it's called SwordFeed, and it's something that you can use as a tool. Let me use that word, as a tool to build and understand what's going on in your industry. So you can grow fast on Instagram and TikTok by sorting out content, by exporting content, and also by downloading content and transcribing in one click. And that's what SwordFeed is. So I'm excited to share this with you because if you've never seen this before, that's why I'm sharing my screen as I'm here with you on Zoom. And I'm also here with you on Clubhouse. And I'm also with you technically on the podcast. So thank you for being here, and I hope you're listening and you are well. So this is a platform that is going to give you so much insights because you can sort it out by the latest 25 items all the way through all time of your posts. So I said, you know what, let me give you all a tour on how this looks. So before I opened this room, I started sorting out some feeds. And I said, let's go to Forbes. So I've gone to Forbes, and as you see my screen right now, and if you want to see this, you can jump into the Zoom room. The link is in the chat. When you look at this, right, I've been doing this for the past 10 minutes and it's still sorting it out. Over 2,700 posts, right? And now if you look at, let me go to Instagram. Let me see. Okay, Sadrina is here. Welcome, Sadrina. if I'm going to Forbes, we can all do this on Instagram. So I'm going to Forbes. Forbes has 27K, so 27.9K posts. And right now I'm borderline on 3K posts. So what's happening right now is that as you see this being sorted, what's going on as you're seeing on my screen is that you're creating a build-up. And if you have any questions, Sadrina, let me know here too. If you look at this specific, is now we're at 3,000. Now it's going to keep going up all the way to 27,000. So I'm going to leave this open until, if the room ends and this thing is still going, fine. But if it ends and we're still here, then I'm going to sort it out and show you exactly what's going on. So technically, what you can do is create a sequence, right? And you can create a sequence online that allows you to know exactly what's going on in the feeds. And if you look at your feed on Instagram, you may not see everything. And Sadrina, you have a hot mic too, so it doesn't go into Clubhouse. When you look at this feed, majorly what you're looking at is Forbes. When you go to anybody's Instagram account, right? Normally you would, you go to Instagram and you check their feed. No one's going to scroll down 3 years ago, 10 years ago. What this is doing right now is sorting out the whole account. So you can do this for your account. You can do this for your client's account. You can do this for your business account. You can do it for your personal account. It's something you can do for yourself. It's technically sorting out all the content on your Instagram or TikTok, because it does it for Instagram and TikTok. And when you do this, it's going to give you the best information based on likes, based on comments, based on views. And right now it's sorting it out. So I'll take you back to the homepage so you can see what it looks like just as a demo, as they show it on their website. You can sort it out by likes, by views, by comments. And when you sort those things out, it tells you the top, if it's 365 days, if it is 90 days, and you can export that data. Now, the whole idea of exporting it is not just for you to export it and have it for yourself, even the oldest too. And Steph has a question, I'll come to that as well. Welcome, Mr. Chris and Tamika, and also Carissa. If you're here and you want to join me on Zoom, the link is in the chat. So open the chat and you find the link to Zoom if you want to see what I'm doing here. So when you look at this right now, what you're noticing is that it's sorting it out based on different items. So I decided, okay, in today's exercise, I'm going to sort this out all the way. So when this hits 27K, then we'll see about that from there. So the goal and the idea, if you really think about this long term as a business owner, is if you're going to use Instagram as a way to build your business in 2026, the goal is to understand what social media marketing is all about. We hear social media marketing every day, and if you have a pink ticket, thanks for being here too. When you hear social media marketing, it sounds like, yes, social media marketing is great, right? But there's a deeper layer to social media marketing. And I always say this, it's not just social media. It's technically search engines running. That's why these days people say, oh yeah, TikTok is a search engine, or LinkedIn is a search engine, or this tool is a search engine, like Instagram now in context. But you can't think about it like that because they're not search engines. They do have search engines, but they're not known as search engines. That's the difference. So Instagram is a social media platform. Yes, they have an API. Compared to Google, that's an actual search engine, right? Because there's a Google bot. There's a tool, there's database, there's inventory, there's information, there's a database that is being accumulated. So within Instagram, it's working within its own API, right? And if you see on my screen, you see at the very bottom here where my finger is, where my mouse is, it says API. That's exactly what Instagram is all about and other social media platforms. So I'm showing you in real life, in real time, what this means too. And Steph says, can we get the link to that AI in the chat? That's the thing. You have to be here on, that's the thing. I want to make this very visual because anybody can just jump away and move this. The reason why I'm doing this specifically is so that when you're here, because after this room is closed, the replays are not going to be on Clubhouse because I'm doing this very exclusively. So if you want to be here, please join you will see it here for yourself, because I want you to be able to at least have that experience, because I don't want it to be so much focused on what the app is, but what the strategy is behind it, because there are many tools you can use, and I don't want you to get sidetracked on the tool. So when you're looking at this, it's sorting it out on a consistent basis. Right now it's at 4,000, right? So as it's consistently going up, right? The goal is to get this to the point where you're creating content for people who are going to see your content, because the goal right here is not just to build or to see what's the most sorted or what's the most liked or what's the most followed. The goal is to know, okay, if this is the highest, why is it the highest? What was the caption? What was the question? What was the message? How long was the video? How long was the post? Was it at 5? Was it 5 carousels? Was it 2? What was said that day? Did something happen that day? When you look at the date stamp and you go back in Google, that's why I'm saying in search engines, because if you go to social media, you look at something and look at the date stamp, then go back to Google search or go to ChatGPT or your favorite AI and ask about what happened on this day. And then you're able to see it, and it points back to what you're seeing on Instagram, because Instagram is reporting it based on documentation. So you're not going to have the time to sort through 20,000 posts. That's not going to happen, because you have other things to do. You have more important things to do. So using this is a good way to see exactly where you could be, right? If you look at the number, there are about 60,000 creators that use this feed. And I decided to show you some insights because I love research and I wanted to do some research with you while we are here today, right? When you look at this specific tool, when you look at this thing, you can see that Instagram has 2 billion monthly active users, right? There are 2 billion monthly active users, and there are 500 million active users that are there daily. So there's 2 billion monthly active users, MAU, and there's 500 million daily active users. Today, 500 million daily active users are going to use Instagram, right? Now, if there's 2 billion monthly, and that's Instagram, and TikTok is 1.9 billion. This is globally, guys. So we're talking about 3.9 billion, close to 4 billion active users, right? Now, that's a lot of accounts. That's a lot of posts. That's a lot of videos. So how will you even know what to sort out, right? So one of the things that you can do here, and I'm giving you these things because I want you to take notes. I don't want you to just grab and go, because that's what a lot of things happen for that reason. And then, you don't really value it. But I want you to look at this not just as a tool, but as a way to see it for yourself as a business. So if you're looking at 3.9 billion active users, I even did the math for you, right? 3.9 billion users, right? And there are only 60,000 people, right, that use this. Now, we're talking about, on average, 0.001. Welcome, Chris. 0.001. Now, and to be more exact, 0.0015%. That's less than 0.1%. That's less than 1%. So if you're going to sort this out, and you can see this on Instagram, right? This is now at 4.5K. So what you're noticing here is there's a consistent increase. And I've told you the total number of posts that they have on their account. So you can do this for any account. But when you do this and you start noticing that you start sorting it out, the goal is, how can I take what I've sorted out or what I'm sorting out into a way that I can now understand what people need, or why this post went viral, or what was attached to this post. Now, this is a really good hack that you can actually try. And if you do this, trust me, you will never go wrong. Because everything that you're looking at within the API system on Instagram.com on your desktop, like I am doing right now, is HTML code. So we're talking about technical setup. We're not even talking about reels. How many times do you post a day? Those things don't matter to me. What matters to me is, if I say it once, did it make sense? And can it be a resounding statement? So Now, when you think about the impact and the growth as a business, your goal is now to figure out, okay, how many times can we create more of this informational piece? More times that the people who saw it at that time will like it the second time they come. Just like if you like turkey, or you like lasagna, or you like pasta, or you like sushi, or you like rice, or you like chicken, and you love your favorite meal, and because you love that so much, and you love the place that you go to eat this, every time you go there, they cook it amazingly well, you're going to go back, right? So it's like an Instagram post. You're always going to see something that you like, and that's why you follow that account. Now, the reason why I'm giving you that analogy is because when you now use that account and you use it as your own way of understanding, okay, what company am I going to use here and build insight from? How can we take that to the next level? It's all dependent on you. So we're going to do a test run. Either Chris, as you're here, Mr. Chris, as you're here, or anyone in the chat. Feluke, welcome here as well. Put in the chat what would be a topic that you want, or even give me an account on Instagram that you'd want us to check based on branding or competition or anything of that like or that nature. I would love to hear from you. So put in the chat, or Mr. Chris, if you're here as well, is there any account that you want to see on Instagram and see how it sorts out based on how you want to interact with your audience? Welcome, Ingrid. And Rachel, I see you too. Thanks for being here.
I'm sorry, Favour. The signal was real wobbly when you were asking. Can you say it?
Okay. So my question is, I hope you can hear me now. My question is, now that we're here, because if you guys are here, by the way, click the link in the chat. I'm on Zoom. So my question is there any Instagram account that you know of that as a business you like to see your business more like, but you're looking at them as an inspo to create a board or create a vision for your account or for your brand? Is there any Instagram account you can mention I could search?
Yeah, there's a business account, and the guy's name is Math Gray. Math is short for Matthew, and he's got some really good content.
Okay, let's do that. So you said Matt, spell it again. What's the handle?
Math Gray, MATH, and I think it's GREY.
GREY. Okay, that's it.
That looks right.
Okay, all right. I wanted to make sure before I hit it. So Math Gray, you see, it doesn't give me the account. So maybe I typed it wrong. Math Gray. Let's see if he has. Is it any of these? Nah, I don't think so.
It could be GRAY.
Okay. Is there another name you can use? And if you're here,
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I'd have to go into my Instagram account, so I'll do that.
Yeah, please, just feel free, put it in the chat, let me know. If you're here also on Clubhouse, what brand would you want me to check? Like, it could be any brand that you look at, you're like, let me see what they talk about. Let's see what they do. Name any brand, any business, put it in the chat, let me know, say it out, and I'm going to search for it so that you can see it, because it's taking long with Forbes because they have a lot of pages. I just want a page that you can see easily. So if you don't have one, I'll just get a random one and I'll pick one. Okay, all right, so I'll get one for you so you can see it. If anyone puts it in the chat, then we might go with that. So if I'm thinking about a brand and I'm thinking about, let's say on Instagram, how do we want to get the best content out there, right? We don't want to see who has the most content, not even what the most content would be, but how do we understand what they're posting, and then we can use what they've posted to get the best out of our results. So if I'm thinking about a platform, let's see, I'm thinking, let's see, I don't know, I don't want them to be so big in size. because they'll have a lot of posts. So let's see. It's so hard. There are so many accounts. There are 2 billion accounts. So, okay, so I see one in the chat. Okay, Chelsea explains. Let's see. There we go. So this is 1 million. Is this the one, Chelsea Anderson?
Yeah, she's really good. She talks about business and like personal growth and development. So
Okay.
she talks about a lot of different things, but it all works together.
Perfect. Thank you. I needed something like this because I didn't want to just give a random platform because there are so many accounts. So this is perfect. So she has 861 posts. She has 1 million followers and 689 following. Shout out to you, Chelsea Anderson. This is really nice. Chelsea _ explain. So you can see this is her account. And before I even go any further, Chris, what do you love about, because you just talked about it business wise, but when you see her posts, what strikes the most to you and what's consistent to you the most?
She always brings value and insight and things that you may not have heard about or you may not have thought about in that particular way. So whatever it is, it's always something that makes you think and makes you feel like you learned something.
Okay. This is good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the platform and then I will now hit, let's see, what are you interested more in? Likes, views, comments? What strikes more to you in terms of engagement?
Views and watch time. The CEO of Instagram said that the thing that the algorithm really favors is watch time and shares. That's what really moves you forward.
Perfect. So let's do views. So we're going to sort it out. Posts don't include views data. Go to the Reels tab, sort by views. All right, so we go to the Reels because we wanted to do it by posts. So now I'm going to click here and then I'm going to hit views. So when you hit views, look at what happens. So we're now sorting out her Reels, not even her posts. We're sorting out all her Reels that she's done throughout. So once we see this, welcome Anisha and Sai. So once we go through this, we'll see how many she has by the time we're done. And it's going to sort it out all the way. So this is something you can do and we're also on Zoom if you're here just joining us. The link is in the chat. I put it there too. So when you look at this, right, this is building momentum. And the goal of what we're doing here is so that you can see what the highest reel is. And once you're able to know what the highest reel is, then you can sort it out and say, okay, there's a reason why this did better than that. Because she can talk about a lot of things. That's a lot of content. 800 posts, that's a lot of content. So the goal is if we can get this content out and understand what she's used the content for, and we can sort it out by views, like you said now, Chris, then we can now use this information to now know what best things we can do for our content that will get us the same amount of time and response. So now look, you see it's sorted out all the way up to the top. So she has 861 posts and she's now showing up. We're actually looking at the last 876 reels, which is actually interesting. So we're getting more. So if you see this, you can notice that this is her highest ever. And you can see here's the information. If I click transcribe, you see it's gonna have, I'll even stop transcribing for now, but I can also transcribe that too. This is the highest views that she had, 9.7 million views, then 7.3 million views, then 5.1, and then 4.9. You can also see the likes as well. You can see 3.5K, 5.5K, 3.4K, 2.8K, 101.7K likes, 292.4K, 148.1K, and then 311.4K. So just looking at this alone, it already tells you, okay, why was this? And if you look at this video, honestly, like, let me ask you this, Chris, when you look at this 9.6 million, where the others have so many buttons, it has a lot of topics, it has things that you can read, but the first one that has 9.6 is barely having any text. But you see the caption says, I'm willing to.
Yeah, that's not much of a handle for people to go on. So it's kind of surprising that it got so many views.
Exactly. So when someone sees that, I mean, that's the beginning of trying to understand, okay, why would this have been the highest? So if you click on it, it takes you to, that was 54 weeks ago. And she's talking about something very specific. And let's see, what is it? Yeah, cold fronts. Yeah, so she's talking about something that happened specifically. So by just seeing this alone, this already tells you, okay, what did she do that was different? You may say, okay, what's so special about this? Majorly, when you think about these things, you have to think about it based on the story and the timing. The story and the timing. Because if you look at this content, this was last year around this time. Or I mean, I'll say like a couple of weeks ago, around last year. So looking at content like this, it also tells you exactly where your content can also be in a couple of months, in a couple of years. So it's not just based on the brand. It's not just based on the content. Think about the person that you're actually checking, because from what I'm reading here, I'm not playing the video out loud, but it looks like she was showing someone or giving more of an educational way of doing things. It's an educational method. So it's something very specific to what she was explaining. She might have had an experience, something might have happened to her that was very unique, that may have happened that people needed to be aware of, because she's trying to tell people a story. So by the time they're listening and they're reading and they're watching, they're understanding and they're getting closer to you, because Instagram is about connections. TikTok is about connections. So if you really think about it, right, the top two things that actually do the best, that's why they call it edutainment, is entertainment and education. Once you're able to lock those two down with social media, you're going to be good. If you can educate or if you can entertain, that's really the hack. Because you can look at all this content, it's great, but at the end of the day, the goal is, what are we trying to get out of this? You can see she has another hack, another hack, another hack, another hack here. Master punchlines, how-tos. If you can see her content, you can see exactly what she's posting, and you can actually relate to what she's talking about. So most of them, you can see hacks, 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 even in the room today, because we're talking about a hack. So I didn't know what Chris was going to tell me today with account-wise, but you can clearly see on screen, there's a lot of hack, 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 hack here. So what does that tell you? That already tells you that if you have the word hack in your copy, it's literally in plain sight. That's the craziest part. It's in plain sight. If you use the word hack in your content and it's actually educational, it's actually informational, it's enough for people to actually take action on, then you're going to be doing really well with your content. Because you mentioned this, Chris, what's your feedback on this? Because you're the person that knows her content, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Does it match what, because I've not listened or watched or read anything or listened to anything, so I'm coming off of a whim, but you know the person. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on if that was accurate or if that was far from reality.
Yeah, I think a lot of us relate to hacks because, we all want to get things done better, faster, easier. And so, hacks makes you feel like you're getting like the inside scoop on, a shortcut or a leveraged way to do something or a secret that most people don't know. So you want to get the hacks and, make life easier and better. It seems like people in her audience also like the word CIA. It feels like you're getting a secret that most people wouldn't know. So, she's appealing to people's desire to get the advantage. But I still don't understand why her top reel got so many views when there was so little copy to go on. I'm willing to is not something that would make me click through. So I'm wondering why her audience did.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. You know what? Let's actually watch it. Let's rewind. I'm going to turn it on for those who are here on Clubhouse too.
Willing to look dumb to show you this hack because it's so fucking good.
So she says she's willing to look dumb. That is already showing vulnerability at the gate. that in itself, I don't know if that even answer the question, because I'm just watching this for the first time myself, but me hearing this and looking at it with a business hat on, with a creative hat on, she's already told you at the jump, y'all, don't judge me because I've already done it, so y'all can't do anything about that. And then she goes ahead to tell you the story. So here we go.
Okay, I was taught this by a professional skier. If your hands get really cold, this is gonna fix that for you. I use this all the time. This is gonna feel so weird to you the first time you do it, but it's like magic. Okay, if your fingers get really cold, and it's supposed to be so fucking cold in Denver this weekend, you need to know this. You stand with your elbows locked and shrug, and your hands flexed up like this, and shrug your shoulders up and down like this, okay? You will feel blood shoot, you will feel it, blood shoot into your fingers, and it will warm them up. It keeps the circulation going. I have Raynaud's, whatever the fuck you say that, where like my toes turn white. Like I can't feel my toes from October to April. They are white, they are numb, they hurt. Same with my fingers, but ever since I learned this, I don't know the toe version. If I knew the toe version, I'd be fucking unstoppable. But this, you're welcome.
Now, when you hear that, what comes to your mind, Chris? Now that you've watched it and you see exactly why it made 9.6 million.
Well, after the fact, it's a perfect reel for me because my fingers and toes get cold easily. And so that's going to help me, especially right now when we get sub-freezing temperatures. But it still doesn't answer the question for me, like what made people click in? I'm willing to doesn't say anything. What made her people go like, this is going to be a good reel, I need to watch this?
This could be a measure of different things. This is about 54 weeks ago. So when you look at Instagram too, Instagram is also based on location, because we could dice this in so many ways. But when I'm looking at this, the first set of people that are going to get this is Denver. So I'm going to go to a website called serpapi.com. So we can just do that. She had 9.6 million views. So if I go to Denver, Colorado has 6.7 million people. So she had way more views on Instagram than the number of people that actually live in Denver, Colorado. And that means that it's not only people in Denver, Colorado that watched the video, because she was talking about cold and she was talking about, so you may not be in Denver, but that made a lot of sense to you. Welcome, Ingrid, because you're feeling cold and you need to get that hack. So for her, when you now think about it that way, a lot of things come to mind. One thing could be she has an email list. There's no way she would not have an email list. I'm sure she probably would. And maybe it was cold around that time. So she maybe made an Instagram video and say, hey guys, if you guys are feeling cold, here's an Instagram video I sent you, and she has 1 million followers. So of course, someone might watch that video 3 times, 30 times, 60 times. It's 54 weeks ago. Where's the video? Yeah, right here, 54 weeks, January 16th, 54 weeks ago. So when you're now looking at this, I could say, okay, she probably wrote a blog about it, or she sent an email about it, or that was something that was in the Explore feed that still gave people connections to what she was talking about. And anybody else could say the same thing. But the difference is how she was able to now put that out there to people, and she can now send out emails or connect to people differently. And because she's also created, she's a professional life hacker, she's even put that in her actual content, and there's the word explains there. That's why I said earlier that algorithms favor, quote unquote, educational content and entertainment content. So edutainment in general. So because she has that, not just because of what she's saying, but there are a lot of elements that attribute to that. And that's one of how many videos, 800 plus videos she has. She could have said the same thing again this year and may not get 9 million. But at that time, something could have happened in the internet, something could have happened in the world, something could have happened in that city. So it's a lot of variance. And most times we're trying to kind of like, I can say pigeonhole the answer in a way. instead of looking at the possible ways that we can make more of those things happen, because your goal is not to go viral. Your goal is to make somebody understand the message. So if more people can get the message, the better. So that way it's even faster for you. So there are ways to go about it, but it's definitely something that could really, it could make you go crazy when you think about it, really. But when you think about the long-term effect of what you're doing, those are the steps to take, not just within social media, because she could write a blog about this and that blog is connected to this Instagram reel. And people, there's literally 8.5 plus, which is now close to even about 20 plus billion searches a day on Google alone. So if there's way more searches in Google than this, then even if she has a 0.1% response, there's a way that can still attribute to her account because she talked about something very specific, and now it could end up in the explore feed. So there are many ways to go about it, but that was a very good question, Chris. Does that give you a clear understanding, not why she got 9 million, but what could happen if that's the case?
Well, it sounds like you're saying that it's not just the headline, but it's all of the inputs, whether it's the Explorer page or her mail list or her, maybe people watched the reel and shared it with other people. So it sounds like you're saying it's everything, not just a headline.
Exactly. It's not just one, because right now people search in so many ways. You could be on Amazon today, tomorrow you're on TikTok, the next minute you're on Pinterest, before you know it, you're back on Instagram. So people are everywhere searching for things out there. But when they now make a decision, there's one thing that's going to click. And that most times is professionally where it gets to their accounts, whether it's their LinkedIn or their Instagram or their TikTok, where they're mostly frequent. So it's very important to look at it from that perspective so that you can see, how best that works. So that's based on her views. So if I do this now, I'm going to now say, let's say based on her comments, I'm going to now go back. I'm going to refresh the feed. There we go. So I'm going to hit it again. Yeah, so now we're back in the posts. So now we're going to sort it out by comments. So what's happening now is that we want to now see where she got the most comments. So, and this is like a hack that I want you to try out for yourself, because hacks happen after a couple of tries. if you really think about the word a hack, right? Because you've tried something before it became a hack. It wasn't a hack a step before it became a hack. So if you're looking at this long term, don't use this to just figure out, oh, okay, that was it. All right, cool story. And you're off to the races. No, the goal is to understand, why is it happening? What could be happening around it? And then try what you're thinking around what you want to see and see if that's the same result you will get. That's the whole idea, because I can talk about this all day and say this is what she did, but nothing's going to happen if you don't send that email, if you don't post that again, if you don't try it twice. Let's say you talked about hacks 5 times this week. Today's Thursday. If you started from Monday through today, you will see a different result. Welcome, Christina. If you try this next week, right, is going to be what? Valentine's week. Yeah, Valentine's is on Saturday. So you have all this time to now build and say, okay, what can I say? Okay, hacks for couples, hacks for this, hacks for that. And then see if you're going to get the results or not. And then try it again without saying hacks. And then see if you get the same result. Same information, just a different context layout. So now you see she's now been sorted out by the most comments. Look at that. So the most comments is 21K. That's where she has the most comments, followed by 11K, 8K, and 7K, right? Now, when we look at the master punchlines, you see that's what she had, master punchlines. Let's see what she had here. So tell me yours and I can steal them. Punchline, jokes, funny. I love a good I love a good master punchline. That's what she said. So when you look at this, you can see that she has all these comments and she's probably talking about something very specific. Now, one of the things that is very important about Instagram and what I'm noticing with her account, just me, I've never met her before. Shout out to her. She's doing amazingly well. And she's giving information that is very helpful. That's one. It's helpful. So when it's helpful content, the algorithms even give you more credentials and also credibility, because when you think about the algorithms are looking for credible sources, credible citations. So if you're going to be one of the most credible sources or resources for that topical reference, then your goal as the TikTok or the Instagram post or reel or carousel is to give people information that they can see. And there's also something that's happening here that I have not mentioned, which is also something that a lot of people miss out on. If you've noticed, both videos that I've shown you, both the one that has the most comments and the one that has the most views, the common denominator between those two is that they both have captions. And they're both there because I'm reading the lines, I'm reading it with the sound off, because most people watch your videos with the sound off, most times. So if you don't have captions on your screen and they're popping at you and someone can read through it, like you watch a movie on Netflix or Hulu, Apple TV, and you watch with the captions on, not because you don't need them, but it's part of the experience that you're watching with the movie. So if someone's going to watch your movie, quote unquote, your reel, your shorts on YouTube, your TikTok videos, anything that you post out there, let it be something that they can experience. Because when you have these things, it also tells the algorithm that, hey, I have something helpful enough to show you. It's not busy. It's right there. You can read through it. And it's not long either. So when you think about the videos, think about the words hack. She said here, tell me yours. So she has 1 million followers and about 21K responded. So 21,000 out of 1 million, right? You can see that conversion rate if you do the math. So when you think about conversions, connections online, you have to think about how people respond back. If she didn't say here, you see how she says, I love a good master punchline? Tell me yours so I can steal them. When she said, tell me yours so I can steal them, she's literally giving them a chance for, think about it, it's a whole word, I can call it a double entendre, because you're noticing that she's giving you a chance to tell her side of the story, and now she's giving you a chance to say yours. And once you say yours, she's going to reply back. And if you notice, what's even creating a compound effect on this side is anything, like for example, the most comment here was when someone says drop something, when someone drops something, my dad says, just put that down anywhere. That's what someone says. Now there are 22,000 likes, and there are 21,000 comments. So you see where I'm going with this? There are 22,000 likes, which means there are more people that liked this post than the number of people in total that commented on this actual entire video. So I'm breaking this down. I'm literally seeing this for the first time. So anything I'm looking at is fresh. And I would do that with any other account. Because when I look at this, it tells me, okay, if this is what the goal is, to write something that is very easy for someone to read, and then tell them something direct, a direct response. Tell me yours. If she just said, I love a good master punchline, and put hashtags, okay, everyone will be like, all right, thank you. But now she involved you. She now said, tell me yours. Those words, tell me yours, those are 3 syllables. The shorter the number of syllables, the shorter it takes for someone to process. So when you think about all these things, the timed blocking, the creation, it's not just about of what you're saying, how you're saying it. It's when you're putting it out there and what you're telling them in the captions to respond back to. So these are hacks that you can do. That's why even on TikTok, you hear, hey, follow me on TikTok for more like this, or click this link so you can get more like this on TikTok, or like this so that you can come back and get a notification. That call to action is important. YouTube, follow, like, subscribe. You hear that, subscribe, like, and share. You hear those things consistently, not because it's redundant. It's because you probably didn't hear it the last time. Or maybe you watched the video and didn't have a chance to hear it because you got stopped and you couldn't finish the video. So every opportunity you get on social media is a platform, place, and prime position for you to now let people know, hey, tell me yours I've told you mine, and here's how you can experience it, because over time, we're going to build this together. So the goal here is focus on the connections and the relationships with people. Don't focus on the algorithm. If you get 1 million views today or 1 view tomorrow, that should not change your breathing. That should not change your bank account. That should not change your mindset. That should not change your vision. These things are subjective. They're always going to change, right? We're looking at a video that was posted in June 3rd, 2025. Today is February 5th, 2026. So when you think about content on social media, don't think about today, think about tomorrow. Because if this is going to be my most liked post tomorrow, think about it. Last year, January or June, just imagine what her last or her most viewed or her most commented video was in 2024. If we were in 2025 now, we will not be seeing 250K. We will not be seeing 9.6 million. We will not be seeing 21K comments. We'll be seeing a completely different figure. And that may be lower. It may be higher. I don't know. But from what we're seeing, her most was last year. So clearly the year prior was not as high as last year. So if she can beat last year's this year and do the same thing this year for next year, then you now understand the blueprint. When you understand the blueprint, you don't change the blueprint. That's the blueprint. Why are you scribbling it? It's already done. So you look at your content, if you've been posting content on social media, and use this as a way to understand, welcome Norette, and use it as a way to know, as a business owner, how can I take my business to the next level? How can I use my content to create more intentional content for people to receive? If you notice, she has hashtags, very quick hashtags, punchline, jokes, funny. That's what she has here. I'm going to show you the other one. Let's choose the second one. Just to give you an idea. You see, please, I'm begging the trolls and bots to just leave me alone on this one, okay? I'm allowed to have emotional experiences you don't agree with. You don't have to comment. Now, you see, she says you don't have to comment. And guess what people do? They comment. So I'm here showing you guys in real life scenarios. These are things I'm looking at. The same way you're hearing me is the same way I'm seeing it. We're looking at this at the same time. So don't think I saw this before today or before this room opened. I'm showing you, I don't know who this person is, but I'm loving what I'm experiencing here because it's giving us the real information and the background. Yes, Chris, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Favour. Yeah, the one that was previous about the master punchlines, I did see that and I probably commented on it too. And what she so brilliantly did was tap into something that so many people do, but so few people have talked about. And it's the master punchlines that you can use in a lot of different situations. A good example is the show The Office, where they popularized this master punchline, "That's what she said." And it's a punchline you can use for so many different situations. And so she elicited thousands of these master punchlines, and people love to share it because people want to look cool and they want to be funny. And so people are sharing their master punchlines with each other. And, you know, it's something that you hear, it's something that you do, but nobody really talked about it before she did. So if you can find something like that, that's a gold mine. But, you know, there's easier things too. You don't have to necessarily get lucky. I've been using comments to my advantage where I'll go into somebody's comments and try to make an insightful one, or try to correct a mistake or misperception, or try to add a more distinction to what was said in the post or the reel. And I do believe that some of my comments have gained me a few followers. And I've also used comments to promote my friends. I have a friend that created a safe escape checklist for victims of domestic violence. And so I would go into posts about domestic violence and make a comment and add the link to her checklist in the comments. So she may have gotten a lot of people coming to her website from those comments, because some of these, like you see, some of these comments get thousands of views and likes. And so you can actually not just use posts, but you can get some traction inside the comments too. And if it's a if it's a popular post or a popular reel, you could get thousands of people to see your comment. And if it's insightful or if it's inspiring or if it's helpful, that could actually drive followers or drive traffic to your site.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris, for that insight. It's so true. Like her topmost comment has more likes than the total number of comments in total. The first one I said is about 31,019 likes 25 weeks ago. And the total number of comments on the actual post is 11.8K. So if a comment is getting more likes than the actual number of comments, that means there are more people that liked and saw the post than talked about it or wrote anything on it. So when I'm not looking at likes and comments as different things. That's why I'm not comparing likes to likes. That's like apples to oranges. It's already the truth. You can see that. I'm looking at the people. Those are 31,000 accounts versus 11,000 accounts. So when you look at it like that and not just likes and comments and people and profiles, it's like, oh, so we can actually do this. Same thing with Pinterest. That's a great hack you can use too on Pinterest. Leave comments on Pinterest. Pinterest has a lifespan of 5 months and your posts are dated. You see like how this says 25 weeks. On Pinterest, it will say, if it was January 2025, it will say 125. If it was, let's say, February 98, it will say 298. It's going to tell you exactly that. I'm just giving you guys extreme examples. So when you see that, you realize that even the time that you wrote that comment matters, because it also validates the amount of information that you acquired over that time limit. So 25 weeks is technically half of a year, almost. So in the next 52 weeks, this 31,000 likes could turn into 50,000 likes. And that's still giving her account more visibility, which is getting her more follows indirectly. So it's kind of like user-generated compounding effect here. So you can see how this algorithm is. It's not about what you're posting. It's what you're saying in the post that's leaving the impression for people to leave more comments. And if you say you don't have to comment, trust me, people are going to comment. If you say don't touch this button, ooh, what does this button do? You will touch it. So it's just the human nature of how things are, but we have to use it in a way that is very effective and also forward thinking. So when we're looking at these comments, I just wanted to show you an example of what this looks like, because we can talk about this all day, but when you look at these little things that go a long way, it changes everything. 2 seconds can change. I was talking to a client earlier today, and we're looking at how the website we fixed a problem with the website because it was loading for 4 seconds, and now it's way good now, because when you have a website that loads more than 3 seconds longer, you lose about 7% at least conversions at that very point, at that jump start. It's kind of like saying when you drive a car out of the driveway or out of a car dealership, you lose the value by 20 to 50% or so. You've already lost the value as soon as you've driven off of that parking lot. So it's the same thing I'm talking about here. So when you look at the long-term effect of your business and you have a reel on Instagram, what should you do? Take this to the next level. I'll show you another hack. I'll click on these 3 dots right here. You see these 3 dots, it tells me embed. Now, when I click on embed, I can either include the caption or not. Now, this is a script that is coming, and I talked about APIs earlier in today's room. So you can see it talks about, by using this embed, you agree to Instagram's API terms of use. That's the same thing you're going to see with TikTok and any other social media platform, because social media is heavy on API, right? So that's why I'm showing you this explicitly so you can see it. Now, with copy embed code, welcome Rico, hey Denny, and Sai. When you click copy embed code, now it's copied. Now, where am I going to take this code? I'll take this code to my website, because when I take this code to my website is now going to be the place that someone is going to find this post, Because this post was posted 25 weeks ago. There's no way someone is going to spend 25 minutes looking for a post that was posted 25 weeks ago. It's not going to happen. People got bigger fish to fry. People got more things to take care of. So the last thing they're going to do is scroll on your account for 25 minutes. So talk less of 5 minutes or even 2 minutes. So if you want to get more visibility in 2026 as a business, this is where it starts from. And if anyone is here in the chat, thanks for being here. I see you as well. If you guys want to get on a call with me, please feel free to click the link in the chat. That's going to take you to my link. And if you want to even have a closer and quicker connection, I'm going to put my business card here because I'm going to be doing rooms like this. But if you come here, it means that you're serious and it means that you want to see more and you want to connect deeper. So I just put my business card in the chat. So please feel free to click those links if this makes sense to you and you'd like to get more of this as well. So when you copy embed code, this code is what you take to Instagram, right? I can even say this better. You take it to your website, but you're technically taking people to Instagram. How? If somebody's looking for, let's say, master punchlines, here are the top 10 master punchlines of all time, for example, and I've talked about it on an Instagram post. And then the word is master punchlines. That's what people are looking for. All time, you could be the GOAT, like you could say all time, right? But when you now put master punchlines, you're now filtering the search. You're condensing the connection contextually. So when you now hit that copy embed code, because within this code, there's already a script. And if you notice, if you see here at the top, it says instagram.com/profile/reel/ here's a code, DNM, all this alphanumerical code. This is an ID on Instagram. So anytime you post on Instagram, on TikTok, there's always going to be an alphanumerical value. That's going to be your ID. Because if I just, let's say, take this off, for example, in the typo, this is going to give me an error message. Just watch. See? Now it brings me back to her page because that's an incorrect ID number. So because of that exact code, that's why I'm giving you this explanation. When you now copy embed, you're copying the actual code. You're not copying the link anymore because the link is a link. Someone can click on any link. But when you click on a code is what people are able to now use. And that's a script that is being read back to Instagram, back to Google. So if you have a website and your website is built on HTML, for example, this is a good way of actually connecting because you're talking about XML and HTML. HTML is hypertext markup language, which is what we click on, blue links, right? You go to Instagram, you click on a link in the bio, you go to Google, you click on the blue links, and it's blue for a reason. Google has many colors in their logo, but why do they choose blue? Because of trust. When you think about psychology, most banks use blue, right? Because of trust. So there's a lot of psychology in marketing. It's not just a color because I love the color. That's my favorite color. There's an emotional attachment. There's a psychological attachment to it. So when you copy this code and you take this code to your website, now somebody can watch this exact video instead of me watching it here on Instagram, because what am I doing on Instagram? I'm on Instagram.com. Just like you're on YouTube.com or Facebook.com, anytime you're showing up like this, you're on someone's property, you're on someone's domain. So why is somebody watching this video on Instagram only when this video itself could live on your website forever? If Instagram goes down today, how will that video be watched on Instagram.com? But you have a website, right? And it has a code. It's kind of like saying you have a script, and that script is a blueprint. Someone can watch your video, but if they click on that video and say watch on Instagram, it will say you can't watch on Instagram because Instagram is shut down or suspended or Instagram is under maintenance. But you can watch that reel on your website. So you see where I'm going with this? Firsthand, protect your intellectual property. You can have 1 million followers, 1 million likes, 1 million reels, but if none of this is coming back to your website and you're not doing web optimization for your business, at some point it's going to hurt because now you can't go back in time. If you think about this, right, she has 861 posts. So technically, if I went to her website, I should be seeing at least nothing less than 861 website links, including her homepage, about page, contact page, other pages. We should be borderline 870 plus, or even 865 at least. So when you now look at the compounding effects of every post that you have on Instagram, I'm not just telling you to use this tool just because it's cool. Yes, you can use it, but what are you going to do with it? There are so many tools you can use today. And there are so many, that's why I don't really talk about tools, because the last thing I'm going to do is give you a tool that you didn't ask for and you don't need. But if you need it, great. But at the end of the day, if that value exchange is not going to save you time, money, or energy, then I don't want to be part of that, because I don't want that to be on me. So when you look at the long-term event of you building your website, your business, your social media, the algorithm hack is to use the comments, use your profile, use your content correctly, and use the information that you're putting into your captions that are auto-generated to get more feedback and get more insights. So I'll do one more before we go. Thank you, Chris. This was really, really good. I love how you're able to break this down as well. And if you're here and you're listening, please click the link in the chat for you to come to the Zoom as well. So appreciate you, Chris, for the love heart. Appreciate you, man. Ingrid and Noret, do you have any brand or profile you'd like us to look at? I wanted us to look at one or two before we go, just to break this down algorithm-wise. If you have something, you can put in the chat, or you can unmic and say it. Or if not, we can go home. Anyone works. Want to make sure that you guys get the best out of today's time as well. So if there's something you can put in the chat, let me know. But ideally, this is what I wanted us to look at today, so that you can see how this works for you as a business, and check the latest number of posts, check the latest number of comments, check the latest number of views, and then you can see what they've done that they can do again. Because when you look at all these things, right, you see this hack here, this hack here, this hack here, this hack here, and it's still comments. So if I open any, you see I wrote a song about my feelings, you see how to fall asleep. Some people have problems falling asleep, right? So you can see someone says it did not work for me. What if it doesn't work, right? So you're already building curiosity. This is now like a whole different conversation entirely, because now it's like, okay, whatever she's saying, people are listening and they're commenting, and she probably said something at the end of her video for people to comment. So why am I saying this? It's not just putting the words, because some people don't even read. Some of them are just swipe, 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 swipe. They may not even read the comment section. They may never even see it. But what they're definitely going to see is what's on their screen. So if you tell them, hey, before you go or before you swipe, do this, now you've given them a little bit more time to wait than them not having anything to say or do, because they could do anything anyway. So the goal is to build that momentum and let people know in the first 3 seconds and the last 3 seconds of your content about what people need to learn about. Whenever I talk about topics here, I always start by saying social media marketing, Instagram, and TikTok algorithm hack. I don't say, hey, good morning, good afternoon, where are you, how are you doing? That's great. I love that for you, and I want you to be well. I want you to make sure that when you're here, you're getting what you need, because that is the prime reason that you're here for. Welcome, Fabian. So when you look at it that way, it's long-term, like YouTube. When you watch your favorite YouTube video, you don't hear them talking about you, hey, what did you have for breakfast? You know, what's on the menu? You don't hear that. You hear them say, hey, I know you're here because you want to learn about this, or here are 5 steps, or here's a story I'm going to tell you about, da, 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 da. Before you know it, you're already deep in the story. It's like a movie. The first 2 minutes in the movie, you want to know what's going on. You don't want to wait 30 minutes into the movie to figure out what's happening. So it's the same thing. It's just a different platform. We just have to make sure that what we're saying, what we're doing, and how we're presenting ourselves, thank you, Fabian, for the 100, is eventually going to make sense to the person that's going to find it, because they might post it on Tuesday and might find this on Friday. Look at this post I'm looking at. This post was made 56 weeks ago. So I may never see this post again, or I may see this post somewhere, or I may see it surface again because it showed up because I searched for something specific. So if you notice, she also has hashtags: bedtime routine, grown-up hack, sleep hack. And guess what? Hack is back in hack is back in the chat. It's back on the captions. So even if she doesn't use it all the way, she strategically uses them because she knows the word hack is, one, a driving force. Two, it makes sense because someone wants to get results fast, like Chris said earlier too. And three, you're doing it for visibility. That's why this room has the word hack in the chat, or has the word hack in the title. If I didn't have the word hack, I don't think this room would be the way it is right now. Honest to God, this would not be the same effect, because you would see hack and you'd be like, that's what I need. But if there's no hack, if I just say social media marketing, Instagram and TikTok, without algorithm hack, everything is going to change. You'll be like, okay, yeah, Instagram and TikTok, what about it? So you thinking, what about it? Instead of clicking through to the page or through to where we are, I've given you more time to think about something you wouldn't have even had to think about, because I've actually given your time back. I've given you your time back. So the whole idea is to think about it this way. If I switch this topic and say algorithm hack or algorithm social media marketing hack, that's different too, because people are reading it. So when they first read social media marketing, they're like, okay, yeah, I'm interested in that. Okay, Instagram, okay, yeah, I have that. TikTok, oh yeah, me too. Algorithm hack, oh, okay, what's that about? You've already given people the surprise as they're reading it. If I wrote this the other way or in another way, it wouldn't go the same way. So the whole idea is to look at your captions. She usually writes two, from what I've noticed with Chelsea, she just writes 2 sentences. Just 2. 2 sentences, 3 hashtags, that's it. And you're getting 42,000 likes. Some people write 12 hashtags, 55 characters deep, 250 characters with spaces. It's great. It's great for context. I'm not saying it's not working, because right now with Instagram, things always are changing. But don't use these tools and don't use these tactics as a way to hack, quote unquote, the algorithm, because you'll be the one hacked instead. Because it's not going to work, because you keep on trying things and you're just digging a deeper hole. The goal is to create content that if somebody finds this 52 weeks after from now, will it still make sense to me? Can I still watch this video because I need information about this? Write content for the future. That's the hack. If when February, write content from March and April. Right? Of course, you can write content for Valentine's, because everyone's searching for that now. But if you wrote about it before and you're coming to the platform, you'll be the one that's being received the most. Why? Why is this even a thing? It's because the algorithm needs time to build. Even when you run ads on a social media platform like Meta ads, for example, since we're talking about Instagram and TikTok and social media today, not so much SEO, but it's still within the context. Instagram, when you run ads, they tell you have to wait for a couple of days, especially if you're running ads to learn the algorithm or to study or to get out of the learning phase. Welcome, Nick. It takes time. Hey, Rain. Good to see you, as well as comedian Miss T. So those days matter. Just like with your report, if you have a credit report and you have something on your report and you had an inquiry and you know that it takes 2 years for the inquiry to get off, okay, it's going to get off in 2 years. That's what you know. That's what's going to happen. So when you take that same information and say, okay, I got 52 weeks out, knowing that my blog has a lifespan of 24 months, so that's 2 years. So I know, okay, we're in January, we're in February, we're in March. Okay, so I know that the next 2 cycles, the next 2 years from now, this one and the coming one, people are going to be looking for this. And if I'm able to answer these questions and give them these hacks or educate them, the better. I talked about this earlier. The 2 best ways to use social media is to entertain and to educate. If you can do both at the same time simultaneously, better. Better for you. Hats off to you. Because you can do it better and show people better ways of getting things done. Whether you're entertaining them with sound effects or with amazing camera quality or with amazing information or with chops, whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to be something that they're going to experience. So using these tactics help you a lot, to look at it from a long-term perspective. So when you look at these comments, look at the different results that you're getting from people. Not everyone's going to get a like. Some people are writing for scrolls and they're not even getting likes. But that doesn't mean that what you're saying isn't making sense. It's probably not being seen by the right person yet. So when you think about your goals and your industry and your business, think about these things today and ask yourself, where are we going to take this to 2025, 2026, 2027? Can you see this? It's still going up. So this is about 5,000 posts. You see, it's still moving. It's still moving. 5,000 posts later. And this is Forbes. I just said I'm going to keep this going on. And if it doesn't end by the time we're done with the room, at least I've shown you what can happen. I wanted to give you a big account so you can see it. This is Forbes. Forbes has, let me go back to Forbes because I just saw it earlier. Forbes has 27.9K posts. Forbes, right? And right now we're at 5.4K posts sorted. So, and I sorted out by the most viewed post. So when you now look at this, you're going to see all the posts that are coming up. So when you start looking at big accounts or small accounts or mid-sized accounts, this is how you're going to know what's working. I've just shown you with one account. You can do it for your local business. You can do it for a brand. You can do it for a celebrity. You can do it for an influencer. You can do it for a podcast. You can do it for anything, a store. But once you're able to know, okay, this is why, and just look at the post. Don't just see it and just know, okay, this is why this post is working so well. Look at everything. Look at the colors. Look at the style. Look at the text. Look at the caption. Look at the question. Look at the information. Look at the timing. Look at the day. Look at the date. Was it a Saturday or was it a Tuesday? Those are very specific things to look at. And then if you also think about those things, it tells you a lot about their audience, because most people would send an email after they've posted on social media. Why? Because when you send an email and you reference to a post, you want people to go back to that post. And you also want to expand the lifespan of that post. So by doing this consistently, will get you to that point of being in that zone of genius and also learning, long term. So I wanted to just give you this insight today. It's at 6,000 now. So technically it's not going to get to 27,000 before we're done. But I wanted you to see it for yourself, to see how exactly you can create it for your own self and see the best way you can take it forward. So does anyone have any question for me? If not, I'll ask Chris, what will be your biggest takeaway from this?
Just to focus on everything, but also to focus on quality, not just trying to get a shortcut or not just trying to game an algorithm, but to really just make something that is helpful to people, either, entertainment wise or educationally, because people want to learn, people want to be entertained. And that's what I talk to people about sometimes, is that people are trying to sell things on social media. And that is the hardest ways to sell things, because when people on social media, I don't open Instagram thinking, can I buy? I open Instagram thinking, I want to be entertained. I want to laugh. I want to learn something. I want to get inspired. I want to catch up with my friends. Like, buying something at the bottom of the list when I open Instagram. So if you want people to buy something, you got to get it from one of those.
Facts. You hear that? That's just a mic drop right there. Thank you, Chris. You have to think about your audience and be intentional about your time with them. If you're giving them 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, let those minutes count, because you can't get back that time at all. So when you think about your content, think about where you're creating content and who you're creating content for. This will help you long-term as a business owner know how to use this in a much faster and more consistent way. Welcome, Cora and Nicole. This will help you long-term. So use your website, use your business, be more consistent, learn how this can work for you, and then you can see it for yourself. That's why I wanted to open up Zoom today. If you click the link in the chat, that's where the Zoom link is. And you can see it. So once you're able to see this for yourself, learn how to use Instagram and TikTok and understand the algorithm better, then it's just a matter of time. Things will just start working out for you because you're able to read and understand between the lines what's working and what's not. And of course, that's just one of many accounts. There are over 2 billion accounts. So of course, you're going to see different things, but majorly focus on comments, reactions, questions. Post questions out there. Flip the script. Do it in a way that also shows your personality and brings out the credentials that you want people to validate you for and account for those things too. So I hope this helped you, gave you some insights, gave you some really cool ideas to start off for yourself today, because it's just a matter of figuring it out for yourself and seeing exactly where your business is going to go tomorrow. So thank you for listening. I definitely covered this. I'll be talking about search engine marketing versus social media marketing. That should be something I should do next, probably tomorrow, so that you can learn more about these things and, try them out for yourself. If you're here and you got a pink ticket, click at the very top. It says Marketing Club. We have 353,000 members here, and we talk about this consistently. So I really love that we were able to dice this down to a very, I can call it a very good medium. So thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in next room. Talk to y'all later. If you have reached this point of the episode, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I hope this has helped you, given you some insight, because every time I come on here, or anytime I bring somebody on here, a guest, a speaker, anyone that is of relevance to you listening is always going to give you educational value, definitely entertainment value, and most importantly, empowerment value. So thank you for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show every day. And if you want to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Click the links in the description, or go to info@playinc.online, info@playinc.online, and book a call. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk SEO. Let's talk marketing. Let's talk business. Let's talk scaling. And I look forward to meeting you and learning more about you and your business. Till we meet in the next episode, have a blessed evening. Have a blessed day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now. And don't forget, Jesus loves you.